Here he is.
4 and 20, we've been there for it all. Australia's original fan food, Marty. Yeah, Max Gawn with us.
Original and best.
Yeah.
Max, you're a man of your word.
Yeah.
You had a little side, what we call bagel bet with Loz before last week's game, which was, of course, Melbourne Carlton.
Yes.
Loz is famously Carlton.
Some weeks.
One week I tipped against us and we happened to win.
And, of course, was one that got away from you,
Yes.
quite controversially in the end, but you turned up with a gluten-free bagel, as
Is
you
it
said you
gluten-free?
would, because you're a
I
gentleman.
think I told them.
Oh, good.
I hope
Excellent.
so.
Good. Thank you, Max.
What'd you go for?
Like a BLT? No?
Uh,
Not sure? Let's see.
Why haven't you
But you're
eaten
not
it?
eating
Why
it.
aren't
I
you
haven't
even
eaten it
eating
yet.
it?
Great reveal.
Oh, it's wrapped up and everything.
Oh.
Is it still warm?
Oh, my God. Look at that.
God, look, it's a BLT.
perfect.
my God.
Wow. And no
That's
gluten.
got so much bacon. It's like you
This'll be-
couldn't jump that
Wow.
bagel.
You gotta
Do you know
love
why?
that.
Because the guy at Bissell B's a Carlton supporter.
Ah,
he is, yeah. He actually made it hard work for me this morning.
Yeah.
did he?
He wanted to talk goal line review and
Well,
So
I
do
would
we.
like to
Well,
talk gold
Can
line
I-
review.
Can we ask Max the question we spoke about earlier in the week,
Which was?
which was, at what point did you say, God, I'm going to have to get Lauren a bagel?
Lauren
Was
thinks
it
that
today?
maybe you might have thought that during the
Like
game.
on the siren.
it wasn't my first thought.
No, I know.
Yeah, yeah, it was close. It
Was
in
it?
the
Second?
It was
In
in
the
the first
change
few
rooms?
days. No, the first few days.
First few
That's
days.
good.
Yeah,
That's what I
nice.
thought.
Yeah,
I was
maybe-
like, maybe
Yeah.
Monday?
When I tuned in to the Marty Sheargold show
Yeah.
on Monday morning,
Yeah.
We might have mentioned it.
I know that voice. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I got to get that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well
Yeah,
done.
look, the goal line touch off the Petrarca kick is what's been talked about all week. Not so much the touch or even that it was an umpire's call. It's now sort of swung into why is the technology so bad, so primitive?
Yeah, well, if it's not on the actual goal line, I think it's quite hard to see. I think it's
Yeah.
like goal line technology. So this is before the goal line. So
Right,
it makes it
so
even
that-
harder.
so
So the
s-
cameras are even further away.
Right, so they're skewed towards the goal line.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, I'm nowhere near a professional in this space. In
No.
fact, I thought it was a goal looking
Yeah.
at it, but then you usually go off the guy's reaction, and Marchbank said
He's
went,
adamant.
he went touch
Yeah.
straight away. So you got to back that in.
Yeah.
Normally, if I'm trying to lie to the goal umpire, it's a good 5-second pause before you go, I could probably
Actually,
cut
I
him here.
could make
You
something
know,
up.
I
Yeah.
actually touched that.
Yeah, so you go
to
off
tell ya.
Marchbank there, and I think he's since said that he touched it, so he touched
Oh,
it.
you got to take him on his word.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty awful thing to lie about.
Correct.
But, there's a lot of lies in the world.
We had a chance a minute before that with Christian Salem. He's our designated kicker, and he had a shot from 40 with no one near him, and Blake Acres marked it on the line, I think. So that was our chance.
Is designated kicker an official
No,
role?
I sort of used that term. I don't think Goody would use that term. No. And he probably isn't, to be fair. Jake Bowie does a lot of our kicking, but Salem is also a good kick.
So you're lying now, Max.
Yeah, I am lying.
Come on, Max.
I've been caught lying.
That's not your act.
Sorry.
Let's move on. It was a tight game. I'm sure the ins and outs of it, you're far more across than I am.
Just quickly, before the game, there was footage of you watching the Matildas on the big screen.
Yes.
That must have taken up a lot of your attention.
Yeah, went out and ticked the box, made sure that the cameras were there when I was watching.
Yeah.
that.
Good man. Good man, Max.
No, I get fully into Australian sport when they're out and about, and I become a professional like we all do. Like
I'm incredibly knowledgeable on
Yeah.
soccer now.
I was very critical of some of the stuff that happened.
Me too.
But I've never been critical. I don't know if that's good or bad in soccer. So
No.
it was. Yeah, I was well and truly a Matilda for a couple of weeks there.
Me too.
It must have been a weird atmosphere that first quarter, though. Could you hear the crowd just like erupting?
Yeah, quarter
to-
time. Quarter
Yeah.
time was when it fully erupted. Actually, Adam Uze, our midfield coach, was talking to us, and there was the loudest I've heard the G for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
I said, Adam, can we just address the elephant in the room? What's happened here? And
Yeah.
then, one of the other people said, Australia just won on penalties. Then it came up on the big screen, 7-6. Is that
Have
what it
you
was?
since
7-6.
watched? Have you watched that?
Yeah,
shoot?
I went home and watched the penalty
The
shootout.
shootout was insane.
Yeah, crazy.
It was so stressful.
The girls that had to score to stay in,
Yeah,
that's the tough
the
penalty.
unsung heroes.
Yeah.
It's
that's
been a
the-
long time since I stood up in my own lounge room to watch sport.
Did you stand up?
I stood up.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Melbourne.
I
was
needed
pulsating.
to stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your 200th this Sunday,
Yes.
Max.
Maxie.
Congratulations. There's
Well
a
done.
very rare few that make it to 200, but well done, mate. And of course, you are playing Hawthorn. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Sunday at the G.
Yeah, I got lucky milestone games can be anywhere. My 150th was in Port over there. So to be able to play 200th at the G in front of a home crowd, it's been a little journey of mine. Majority of people that are my age or in my draft are coming up 300. So it did take me a while to get to 200, but it could be my last milestone as well. I don't know if I got another 50
Whoa.
games.
How old are
Oh,
you,
whoa,
Max?
whoa.
I don't know if I got another 50 games.
How many? How old are you, Max?
32 in a couple of months.
32.
You'll be fine.
You got another
Oh,
50.
you got
haven't
You
another,
got another
three.
50.
You got another 3 years in you, haven't you?
You got to pay every game as well. Okay, I mean, I'd love to get to 250, but it could be my last milestone.
But across 3 years, you'd do it easy.
Okay, well, it's not my last milestone.
Great.
but-
No,
yeah.
Good.
you got
Yeah.
250 in
Nice.
you.
99 wins, 99 losses, and a draw.
Is that right?
So you can tip the ledger this week.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good.
that's fun.
Yeah,
That's
100
a fun-
wins. I just
that's a very
stumbled
fun
across
stat.
that.
You
There
could
we
go
go.
for 100 wins.
Yeah, well, and out of the 99 wins, I reckon 70 of them have been the last 3 or 4 years. so
Seriously, yeah.
Mm.
Same with the
bad,
losses the
That's
other
how
way.
bad the start was.
Wasn't great.
Yeah, it was a pretty grim start.
Let's come back and talk about the round. Before we push on to the round, some big retirements through the week. Paddy McCartan, Jack Revolt. Was Koch before?
Last week,
Nick Nat Nui, who you would have come up against numerous times over your career. There's some big guys calling it a day.
There's a lot. Is this more than normal? Or is it just a lot of stars?
The names are bigger,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
We've lost Zeeble and Cunnington.
Yeah.
Party.
Zeebel's this week as well.
Zeeble, Cunnington, Aaron Hall.
Yeah.
Aaron Hall.
Zeebel's this week with Cochrane and Rewalt. They're all out. None
Yeah.
of them want to play round 23.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
round
it.
24.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
24,
They're
yeah.
not even pushing on for the final round?
No, well, the North boys don't want to go to Tassie, the two
Yeah.
fellas. And then I think Cochrane and Rewalt.
I have to go to Adelaide,
Adelaide
next week. So
against
yeah,
Port.
this
So
is
they're-
it.
Well, are you saying that Cochin and Revolt aren't playing in Adelaide?
No.
Their
Um,
season's over.
Yeah, but don't you finish what you started?
We get to go out on the G.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wanna
you go out
finish-
on
I
Yeah,
never
but
rated either of them anyway.
I could be wrong. They might. Are they? Do you know?
No, that's correct.
okay.
Yeah, that's confirmed.
Ordinary footballers.
Oh, the 3-time premiership players.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And captain.
Yeah. Nick Nat.
You know how easy it is to captain an AFL club.
easy. I just
The
walked
man
into it.
management that must go on in your role, even casually from a distance, you see a kid with his head down, you throw a couple of words at him at training, it must just be relentless. Do they ring you? Is it an after hours thing or is it a...
There's a few phone calls, yeah.
Yeah.
The footy manager calls me a little bit. The coach
says,
calls me a
hey,
little
can
bit.
you have a chat with so-and-so? We're a bit concerned about this.
And then I'm a snitch, so I tell them everything.
Good man.
Yep.
Well, if you're honest, you can't ever lie.
Correct. No, I'm not a snitch. Nick
No,
Nat.
you're not,
What was the
because
question on Nick Nat?
I asked you off air, where does he rank in
Oh, yes.
all time for you as
played,
an opponent?
played against him a lot.
Yeah.
He's quite daunting in a centre bounce when the game's on the line. There's not much you can do.
Bring
If it-
big spring on him.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. You can try and they always say try and cash in the other way, take a few marks on him or see what you can do. But what he does always trumps whatever you do. It's just he might not have as much impact throughout the whole game, but his impact is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's go through the round tonight. Belting game, strangely at Marvel, but we've discussed that it's an agreement between Collingwood and Marvel.
Yeah.
Collingwood v Brisbane.
I'm not as strangely this is a marble. Like if you schedule this at the start of the year, Collingwood Brisbane, yeah, it's a Marble Stadium game because Collingwood have to play a couple of games there. We have to play one there. And we always get the Marvel team as well, like North or Western Bulldogs, so it's never in favour for us. But I'm going to go Collingwood purely because Melbourne need a little Brisbane loss.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Richmond v North could be one of the. I'm thinking it's one of the great games.
Well, it'll be packed. It'll be packed.
It will.
It will. Oh,
Yeah.
mate, the Tigers will turn out for Cochin and Revolt.
And the Zeeble fans will come.
And the
Zeeble
Zeeble
fans.
fans, I can't make it. But parenting this weekend. Who do you like?
I think Richmond.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold Coast Carlton on the Gold Coast. Oh, how awful.
This is actually the toughest road trip in footy is in Queensland, either Gold Coast or Brisbane. And Gold Coast have been in good form, apart from they lost the last quarter against Swans, got belted a bit. But I'm going to go Carlton, but secretly want Gold Coast just to have a little win.
Do you buy into Harry Mackay returning could upset the apple cart a bit, or do you think just you play your best team?
You play your best team. I mean, he's a Coleman medalist. I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to upset you too much.
Giants v Essendon at Giants Stadium. I mean, I'd rather die than go and watch that game of football.
It's a good stadium.
Is it?
Yeah,
Belting stadium.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
What, the one Skoda
Yeah, it's in.
in Western Sydney?
No, it's in Homebush, isn't it? In the,
Yeah,
where
it's
the ANZ is. It's
Blacktown, I
next to
think,
it.
technically.
Oh, it's next to it.
It's next to ANZ.
How revolting.
Yeah.
This is a good game, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go Giants, though. I think
Mm.
Giants are playing some really
Does
good
that
footy.
end the Bombers' dream?
Pretty
I
much.
think so. I think it ends Giants if Bombers win as well.
Yeah, pretty much an
Potentially.
elimination
Ooh,
final.
ooh, good.
There's a few of them on Saturday.
There's some high stakes. St Kilda Geelong tomorrow night at Marvel. Last chance for Geelong.
This is another one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Saints could still miss the 8.
I'm going Saints.
Saints.
Really?
Yeah, at Marvel, they played really well last week, Saints. I'm going Saints.
That would end Geelong's season effectively.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Premier missing the finals is pretty rare.
I do like Geelong, so I still, I can't say I think they'll make finals and tip St Kilda, can I?
No, you can't.
I'm going Saints.
Okay. Adelaide, Sydney. Once again, last chance for Adelaide. Sydney could still miss the 8. All of these games are meaning something.
Yeah, we've got Sydney next week as well, so I'm not sure what result I want here for Sydney next week. I'm going to go Adelaide win.
Western Bulldogs West Coast at Marvel. One
Big
of
game.
the great games.
One of the big games. 110 as well.
The Sunday 110 slot.
Doggies.
I would have thought so.
I think so.
By 1,000. Melbourne versus Hawthorn Sunday at the MCG. Hawks are giant killers. They've won their last 2 games v Collingwood and the Bulldogs. Surely not.
Well, I mean, every team, every game. We talked about Gold Coast Carlton, GWS Essendon. There's just anything can happen in different games of football. And Hawthorn are playing some serious good footy. Their game against Collingwood was, I mean, Collingwood didn't necessarily play bad. Hawthorn were unbelievable that day. So I'm excited. I'm excited to play a team that's in seriously good form. It's a good test for us going into finals. So, I mean, I'm going to tip us. But just.
Freo v Port to close the round off Sunday at Optus Stadium.
I'm really torn here because Freo have our draft pick, but we want Port to lose. So I'll smile with whatever the result is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not too worried about that one.
Yeah,
Gee, it's an interesting round, isn't it?
It's a belter.
With what, 2 rounds to go?
it really is.
Anything can still happen in that 8. Who's safe?
Oh, only the top 4. The top 4
Well,
are all...
we still have to win to make top 4 if
Mm.
Carlton win both games.
So
Yeah.
you're not even safe.
No, so the top 3 are safe.
Ugh.
But one of them don't get a home final. So technically, no one's
Mm.
safe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jeez, God, there's a lot going on.
Gee whiz.
All right, mate. Well done. Enjoy your 200.
Thank you.
You've earned it with all the knees and all of the things and all of the time in the 2s at the start.
Yeah.
I mean, that was partly my fault, but
Well, don't be too hard on yourself, mate. 6 All-Australians, All-Australian captain, 2 club best and fairest, AFLCA champion player of the year, premiership captain, Max Gawn. Congratulations.
oh, what a song.
See you next time.